So yesterday wasn't a good day. He just kind of never really started on the right foot, and basically ended up with a pretty crappy finish as well. I ended up working out, rushed, tried to warm up, didn't warm up properly, just couldn't get anything going. Ended up leaving the place with some TFL kind of right hip pain, which I kind of been dealing on and off for forever, it seems. Couldn't deadlift last night, and so I ended up doing some fire hydrants and some lying side lateral kind of hip abduction things, straight legs. I did that before sleep as well, which I didn't show on the camera. I tried everything just to kind of loosen up the hip. This morning I woke up and the hip was still kind of feeling crappy. So I was double frustrated from what yesterday. It just was a poor day. And so my emphasis for today was literally to come in here and spend 50 million hours deadlifting. Why do I want to deadlift so much? Is because I've been dealing with this hip pain forever, it seems. I've tried every single remedy, every single movement, every single stretch. And the one thing that helps me the most is the deadlift. In the last 2 weeks, you could say, I've done 3 lots of big squats, which is a hell of a lot of squatting. It is a lot of squatting. I don't know how many reps I did in the last 2 weeks, but I did a lot more than I did deadlifts. And so what happens, in my opinion, is that imbalances form because you're pushing with your legs a whole bunch and you're not pulling with your legs a whole bunch. And so for me, the manifestation of that imbalance is this right hip pain. Why right? I'm not sure. Why not left? I'm not sure. But anyway, lucky for me, I've been at this for a while and I've kind of worked out exactly what works. What works for me is deadlifting, man. I've been talking about this for a little bit now, and a lot of you guys are doing deadlifts before squats. Continue to do that, man. I'm telling you, there's something to that. Your body just loves it, especially if you're all about improving the squat. The deadlift has to be there. It has to be there. I've spent way too long not deadlifting, and I was basically plateaued for months on end with this niggling hip pain I could never shake off. The moment I started deadlifting, I started hitting 200 kilo squats again. My deadlift went up, all sorts. So today I just went, okay, I'm going to spend a whole bunch of time doing deadlifts. I did 5 sets of 10 with 40 kilos, then I went up to 90 kilos, and I did 10 sets of 10. I know, it sounds pretty crazy, right? 10 sets of 10 at 90 kilos, which is, I don't know, 40% or whatever, I don't really care. It was heavy enough to kind of stimulate my body in a way that I feel like I'm going to get a response. I might be sore tomorrow, absolutely, I might be sore. I feel a little bit drained now, central nervous system wise, but I don't care, man. This had to be done. This had to be done for the sake of the hip, because in the last 2 weeks I've done a whole lot of squats, and as part of the recovery of the big squat, I've kind of neglected the deadlift. Again, numbskull. I mean, you can probably tell that I'm pretty frustrated that I make the same damn mistakes all the time, but that's what numbskulls do. They go away from what works and they start hammering all these different ideas. If you're listening to this and you want to increase your squat, my story to you is that you must be doing some sort of pulling, lower body pulling, RDLs, deadlifts, block pulls. I don't really care. Just do something where you're pulling. On top of all of this, the numbskull that I am, I actually spent some time in the last 2 weeks, which maybe I've shown on camera or not, maybe not to the full extent, but I've been doing a whole lot of leg extensions as well. So just because, squatting is not enough, the million repetitions that I did, it wasn't enough. So leg extensions is what you need, when you're squatting a whole bunch. So I've facilitated even further the hip imbalance that I got. So anyway, now I'm in a position again where my hip hurts. Nevertheless, today was very positive. After a million repetitions of deadlifts, I went to the squat and it felt good. It felt good. It felt like the pain, the discomfort, the kind of low confidence kind of feeling. I don't know how to explain it. It didn't slow me down. So you'll see it in a second, but I ended up hitting 180 for one. Really happy with how it felt. Tomorrow I'm going to come in. I'm going to do more deadlifting. I was planning to do pig squats today, but then yesterday was such a horrible day and screwed me over a bit. So, I mean, I could have done the pig squat, but that's just literally walking through a wall and being stupid and continuing being a numbskull. You need to kind of pull up your programming, pull up your expectations. As soon as there's a symptom that comes up, you need to address that right away. Nip it at the bud, man, because if you let this thing go on, you just go further down the hole. So already I feel really good in the hips, a lot better than I felt last night. So I don't know what the ratio is. I really would love to know. I'll definitely test some things over the following months, but I'll try and work out what sort of ratios you need, squat versus deadlift in terms of reps and effort and all that. when you're squatting every day, basically, you're doing a whole lot of squats. So it only makes sense that you deadlift every day as well. Obviously, the deadlift is another beast and will put you in a coffin if you were to deadlift as well as squat every day. So you need to kind of auto-regulate that stuff as well. I know you guys have seen me. You guys have seen me do 40 kilos for 5 sets of 10 or whatever. I think I need to increase that a little bit, but not too much, because it's hard to recover from these guys. These guys will murder you. So that's basically the story for today. Hip pain, frustration, doing a lot of deadlifts. But I feel really, really happy that I've spent such a long time on this journey, and I've learned so many different things that when something comes up, I just know exactly what to do with it, man. I just hit that thing straight on the head, hammer that nail right back into that wood, man, because I know exactly why it popped out in the first place. It's, I remember back in the day, I used to think that you can just squat, till death. You can't. That is one thing that I want to just portray to you guys. Squatting is not enough. You must do some sort of pull. I just want to say right now on top of my head that it needs to be 1-to-1 ratio, 1 rep to 1 rep. 1 rep squat, 1 rep deadlift in the volume at the end of the week. If you don't do it, you're screwing yourself up. Anyway, guys, I'll let you guys watch this 180 times 1. This is my last set, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.